We want to pull data from the discount category from this smaller table, then place them beside the retail price. What we want to do, we want to categorize the retail prices based on the amount. For example, if the retail price is between $0 and $1,000, we are going to return A. We are going to name it A. If it is between 1,000 to 10,000, then it is going to be B. So like this one here is B. Now, if it is between 10,000 to $25,000, then it is going to be C. That is going to be C. Then if it is 25,000 and above, it is going to be D. But then this process, if we are going to do it manually, it is going to take forever. It is going to take a lot of time. And for very large data sets where we may have even 1 million records, it may not be possible. Now, the function which is going to help us do this is what we call the VLOOKUP function. The VLOOKUP function is simply going to look for this data given a particular non-lookup value. Given a particular non-lookup value, it is going to use that non-lookup value to look up whatever we want to get from another table like this, then return it automatically. Now let us look at how VLOOKUP function works. First, you type an equal sign. Because it is a function, you have to start with equal sign. Then type VL. We call it VLOOKUP function because it refers to the vertical lookup function. If our data has been arranged automatically, we are going to use the HLOOKUP function, that is horizontal lookup function. But if our data is arranged vertically like this in this table, then we are going to use the vertical lookup function. Now, this is why we are using the VLOOKUP function. Now, under the VLOOKUP function, we have 4 arguments. The first argument is the lookup value. Now, the lookup value is the value that we know. We know this value and we want to use it to pull data from another table where we do not know the values. Then we have the table array. The table array is that table that contains the results that we want. Now, for example, this smaller table contains the discount categories that we want. We want A, B, C, D. We want to return these discount categories. That is the table array. Then the column index number. The column index number. Now, within that table array from which you want to return your results, there is a number of columns. For example, in this smaller table, you can see this is the first column. The first column is the cost column. Then the second column is the discount category column. Now that is the column index number. Then the range lookup. Now this is the last argument in this case. In this case, we have to specify whether we are returning the range lookup or it is just specific lookup. Now let us start. Our lookup value in this case is the retail price, so we are just going to click on that, then comma. Then our table array, we are going to select this table. Remember, you select the whole table except the table headers, because the table headers do not fall under the table itself or the data set. Now the third argument we have seen is the column index number within the table array, whatever we want to return. Now, whatever we want to return is ABCD based on the retail price and based on the range within which they fall. Now the cost column is the first column, the discount category is in the second column. So our column index number is number 2. Then the last one, you can see we have 2 options. True if it is approximate match and false if it is exact match. Now let us look at this thing very well. Our retail price, it is either going to fall between $0 to $1,000, between $1,000 and $10,000. So you can see it is just approximate. It is within a range. It is not the exact match. So we can either click on the true for approximate match or 1, or just leave it like that. Let us leave it like that, then click enter. You can see it has returned A. Let us confirm. The retail price is less than $1,000. It is $995. When you come here, any value that is falling between 0 and $1,000 is supposed to be given category A discount, and that is exactly what we have here. Then after that, for us to get for the remaining categories or for the remaining records, we are just going to double click so that we copy this formula down. Yes, you can see we have a problem here, and I'm going to tell you where the problem is. If you already know where the problem is, why for the remaining rows we are getting this kind of errors, then please comment in the comment section below. Now, as you are commenting, let us come back to this, or let us go to the next one where we have that, and you can see now instead of having this thing as a table, our selection is moving as we continue moving down. Let us click on this one. You can see our table is now here. So our selection is now moving. We just need to lock this table so that it is not going to move. That is what we did not do. So let us come back to our first row in this table. What we want to do, we want to lock this table array. And for us to lock a table array, we are going to assign it absolute cell reference or absolute reference. For absolute reference, we are going to assign something like it's supposed to be a $sign. And because we want to lock the whole table, we are just going to click the F4 key. And you can see when we click the F4 key, we have locked the whole table array. Our selection has been locked. So it means it is not going to move down. It is not going to move anywhere. So let us click enter. Then let us now, you can now see that problem has been solved. That problem has been solved. And that is exactly how you use the VLOOKUP function. Now, there are some of the things that you need to take into consideration when you are using the VLOOKUP function. One, your data has to be arranged in ascending order. Like in this case, you can see our data has been arranged in the ascending order. Under the cost column, it starts with 0 to 1,000 to 10,000 to $25,000. Yes, your data has to be arranged in ascending order. Then VLOOKUP only works with data that have been arranged vertically. For data that have been arranged horizontally, we have to use another one called horizontal lookup, that is HLOOKUP. So again, make sure your data has been arranged within that table array. Your data has been arranged in a vertical manner. Then the third thing that you need to understand is that for VLOOKUP function, it will only return values from the left-hand side. Like you can see, our discount category column is on the left-hand side. If you are to change or to interchange this, maybe bring the discount category here first, then cost on the left-hand side, then our VLOOKUP function formula is going to break down. So that is another thing that you need to take into consideration. Then if it is arranged, we have to choose if it is falling within a range, then we have to choose the approximate match. Remember, we have two types of matches, the approximate match and the exact match. If we are talking about a unique value, maybe we want to return the phone numbers or the ID numbers of various people, then we have to use the exact match. And for the exact match, we either use false or we either use 0. For exact match, we have to put that, we have to specify. For the approximate match, it is going to be optional. Now, let us see what happens if we say that it is exact match, and yet it is not exact match. Let us see what happened. You can see it is going to break because our data is actually within a range. It is not the exact match. So what we do here, we can either write true, 1, or just leave it like that. What happens when we type true, it is going to return approximate match, enter, and we are going to have our formula back. How about if instead of true, we just write 1? 1 again stands for exact match, not exact match, but approximate match. Again, you are going to see. How about if instead of true, we write 0? 0 stands for exact match. Again, enter. It is going to return an error. So anyway, it is approximate match. We are going to leave it like that. Remember, if it is approximate match, the last argument is going to be optional. Then we copy this formula to the bottom. This is now how you use VLOOKUP function. In our next tutorial, we are going to dig deeper and understand how the VLOOKUP function can help us pull data from other tables that are not within the same worksheet and other tables that have very, very large data set.